All right, so these police went out of their way at every fucking juncture to hide their crimes. After what Officer Hahn did, he should have never been allowed to interact with me again. But every single time that I went to the police, or nearly every time that I went to the police, who was it that they sent? Officer Hahn. Now, Tara Smith from the Department of Health and Human Services, she spoke with me in 2018 about this situation with Officer Hahn present.
Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Christy, how can I help you?
Hello, my name is Sean Schwartz, and I'm kind of hoping you don't hang up on me.
Okay. How can I help you?
Well, I would like to talk to Tara Smith's supervisor.
To who?
Tara Smith's supervisor?
Okay. Let me see who Tara Smith is and see who her supervisor is. Just bear with me for a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I put you on hold for just a moment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and other than just speaking to her supervisor, can I ask what this is regarding?
It's regarding a lot of abuse that I've had to endure, and well, ma'am, it's been about 4 years worth of abuse. I've attempted to take it to the Department of Health and Human Services on multiple occasions. I've tried to take it to the FBI and to the local police. I've gone everywhere that there is to go, and I keep getting blown off. I keep getting people tell me that they can't remember, they can't remember, they can't remember. The thing is that I've been through 4 years of victimization, and I needed to stop.
Okay. All right. Well, let me see who her supervisor is and see if she can take a call, okay?
All right, thank you.
Like I said, bear with me. And do you mind if I just put you on hold for just a moment?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Looks like someone's calling me from British Columbia. You still there? Apparently not. I wonder what the hell somebody from British Columbia would want. Probably to threaten or harass me.
Okay, sorry about that. I had to find out who our supervisor was and get her number. Okay, so I can go ahead and transfer you. Okay. Let me see if she is available. You still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And could I get your name again?
Sean Schwartz.
Is that Sean S-E-A-N or S-H-A-W-N?
S-H-A-W-N.
And Schwartz, could you spell that? S-H-W-A-R-T-Z?
No, S-C-H-W-A-R-T-Z. What's the name of her supervisor?
Patty Druids Volk? Or Patsy, sorry, Patsy.
Patsy.
Yes.
Like Lee Harvey Oswald.
Like what?
Like Lee Harvey Oswald. He was just a patsy.
Yes. Okay, and she says she can take the call, so let me get her number right quick.
All right.
Get it transferred. Okay, so let me go ahead and get you transferred. Just a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Health and Human Services. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm Sean Schwartz.
Yes.
I got a lot of major issues that I need help with, ma'am. There's about to be a train going by, so I won't be able to hear you for a couple of seconds. I do apologize.
Okay. We can wait.
Sorry about that. I don't get to make my phone calls based around when the train goes by.
That's fine, Sean. I can wait.
Ma'am, I have gone through 4 years of abuse over cops not willing to do their jobs and the resulting aftermath. I was trying to turn in 2 officers here in Chapel, Nebraska who were taking part in it. When I call up your number, it always says if it's an emergency to dial 911. Well, every time that I've dialed 911, it has resulted in the cops not doing anything. And in some cases, they went out of their way to try to paint me as schizophrenic so that they could justify the things that they had done. The first time that I talked to Tara was right after a situation where the sheriff in this town, when I was trying to turn in his officers got to use and abuse their power along with the sheriff to have me sent to Scotts Bluff for trying to turn them in. When I got released, I got a hold of the state patrol, who hasn't done anything about it. I also got a hold of the Department of Health and Human Services, because it's not just the police.
Okay, Sean,
Yeah,
you are speaking with the Department of Health and Human Services.
I know.
Okay, okay.
Ma'am, I've called everybody else. When I call the Adult Protective Services, that's who they get me in contact, is you guys.
Okay, okay. So, Sean, how can I help you?
Well, ma'am, the situations that involve Tara Smith, I would like to have them all recorded so that I can take them to court. I'd like her to write down as much as she can remember about that situation in 2018 and the situation since. The thing is, I have been trying to get help with stopping the abuse, but I can't stop the abuse until I can get help having a safe environment.
Okay.
The problem is that
Sean, tell me about the safe environment. What is that?
Ma'am, it's a place where I'm not victimized for being disabled. I'm not victimized for being different.
Okay.
I literally can't take care of myself, and that's the thing, is that I need to be able to take care of myself, and I can't do that right now. I live in a 5x5 fucking shed. Everybody's solution to my problem is to ignore the problem and tell me to move somewhere else. They're not helping me, they're just telling me what to do. Meanwhile, I have no rights because of the term mentally ill. I have to have a guardian present, otherwise my rights are fucking non-existent. I can't turn in the police, and I can't turn in my predators to the police and actually believe that they're going to do something.
Okay. Sean, what is it that you specifically want from my department?
Well, actually, it's something I specifically want from you. I want to know what it is that I have to do to drag her into court.
Sean, that would be getting at. Now, I am not a lawyer, okay, Sean. So my thoughts is if you want to file a suit against the police, you need to start with getting.
Ma'am, don't tell me where I need to start. I have gone through 4 years of this. I am calling you for a very specific reason. I am calling you because you're the ones that I was told to go to. I am tired of being told that I didn't make an effort because the places that I was told to call tell me it's not their job. I have gone through 4 years of abuse, and I have gone to your department on multiple occasions to see that something is done about that abuse. At this point, it is time for somebody to step up and say, hey, the things that Sean has had to go through because you want to pretend he wasn't trying to get help, it's not because he wasn't trying to get help. I called everybody that I was supposed to, ma'am. And everybody thinks that if they just don't do anything about it, or don't say anything about it, or pretend it didn't happen, then everything is fine and dandy. It's not fine and dandy, ma'am. I've been through 4 years of hell. Nobody who works for the United States government, and that includes you, is likely to do their job when it comes to somebody like me. Unless somebody goes in with us.
Sean, I'm very sorry that you feel that way. And I do know that we have had some investigations that you were named in. We feel we've done our job, and we're trying to provide you the ideas, the referrals.
Ma'am, I don't need an idea or a fucking referral. I need to be able to defend myself against predators.
Okay.
Does that sink into any of your fucking brains? Do any of you understand that because none of you are allowed to do your jobs and none of you are coming forward, what you are doing is omitting information and omitting evidence that proves that the shit that these cops and these fucking pieces of shit are trying to fucking paint me as is fucking bullshit. I went to you for help. I went to you and your department for help. I am calling you now because you have evidence of the fact that I went to you guys repeatedly for help. I also have evidence of the people who told me that you're the ones I have to go to for help. I also have evidence that you guys told me I need to call other places that I also called for help. And I have evidence from those places that that's not their job either. It is none of your fucking jobs. I get that. So write it down on paper so I can take it into court. Is that a rocket science? I am a disabled adult who is continually being abused. Yes, I need someone to do something. Something other than pretend like I'm not trying. I don't need another referral to a place that I have called 100 times that just gives me referrals. All you guys do is give referrals. That's all you do. I'm not asking for a referral. I'm asking for the fucking truth. Are you telling me you're not capable of writing down the truth? Are you telling me that Tara is not capable of writing down the truth? Are you telling me that between me being abused for the rest of my life because you won't write that down, or you actually writing it down and me possibly being able to have a life with less victimization? I mean, seriously here. I'm getting treated like I'm making no effort. I have called everyone there is to call. It is nobody's job. When you are disabled, everyone blows you off. Everyone. And the first question that these police officers ask me, and the first thing that people from your department ask me is, don't I have somebody else that will help? No! If I had somebody else to help, I wouldn't go to you. The only reason that your department exists is because you're supposed to help people who don't have anyone else to go to. That is the reason that your government agency was formed, ma'am. But then you ignore anybody who doesn't have anyone. Or you bullshit them, or blow them off, or you say, we've done as much as we can. You haven't done shit, but tell me to do the things that I've already been doing. You haven't done shit. You feel. Well, I feel like you haven't done shit. Unless you've spoken up, you haven't done shit. You have protected my predators at this point. Are you not getting that? It's not that I'm not trying to get help. It's that when I go to court, people like you aren't going to admit that I try to get help. You're not going to write it down. You're going to pretend that by ignoring the abuse against me, that you're in the right, that you did no wrong, that your employee did no wrong. None of you and none of the cops have lifted a goddamn finger to investigate or put a stop to any of this.
Sean.
So what do I want you to do?
Curse that, so I'm going to hang up.
Go fuck yourself, you fucking excuse making cunt. Go fuck yourself. That's always your excuse. I'm being abused and you want to hang up because you don't like being cursed at? You fucking cunt. You want me to be nice? I'm not going to be fucking nice. I'm tired of their fucking excuses. Let's call this person from British Columbia back, though.
Sorry, the number you have dialed has calling restrictions that have prevented the completion of your call. Announcement 19. We're sorry, the number you have dialed has calling restrictions that have prevented the completion of your call. Announcement 19. Location 1980664.
It's nobody's fucking job. You notice every time I call them, they make excuses.
The number you have dialed has calling restrictions that have prevented the
All right.
Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. This is Christy. How can I help you?
Yes, ma'am. I need to get a hold of. Hold on a second. I need to get a hold of Patsy's supervisor.
Okay, I will have to find out who that is.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let me put you on hold for a moment, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Sean, I believe he is busy, but I can put you through to his voicemail.
All right. What's his name?
Trenton,
How do I spell it?
Trenton.
Like Trenton without an R or an E, a T or an R?
It's Trenton.
All right, Trenton. Thank you, ma'am.
Yep, just a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Trenton, and I'm away from my desk right now. Please leave your name, number, and a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you need to speak with someone immediately, press 0, and a receptionist will be with you shortly.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, simply hang up or press pound for further options.
Hello, Trenton. My name is Sean David Schwartz, and I got some major issues with your office. You guys need to stop making excuses. Now, I'm not going to blame you for the excuses that Patsy made, and I'm not going to blame you for the excuses that Tara's made. But something needs to be done. Disabled people should not be blown off so incredibly much, or so incredibly often. Your office takes funding from the American public to do a job that you're not doing. I'm hoping that you will actually do that job. Now, I need someone to actually help instead of blowing me off and giving me the mentally ill treatment. I went to Tara Smith for the first time in 2018. I've recorded the situations as well as her excuses and her love. Thank you very much. And yeah, hopefully you're not a useless piece of shit. Be safe. Yeah, we're supposed to go to these places. But you go to those places and they tell you it's not their job, it's somebody else's. It's always somebody else's. Always somebody else's. And you notice all of these people get paid by you, the American taxpayer. You notice that all of these people who are taking money for services that they're supposed to be providing, you guys are paying for that. Now, I got a question. If you pay somebody to come work in your yard and they don't come work at your yard, but you have to pay them anyway, are you going to be fucking happy about that? How about if you pay somebody to mow your lawn and they mow your neighbor's lawn instead? Yeah, you shouldn't fucking have to pay for that. See, that's where the government and you are different. If the government fucks up, you fucking pay for it. You fucking pay for it. If the cops want to assault the living fuck out of you, well, them and their fellow cops have a fund that they get to use to get their buddy off. They have lots of money to spend for that. And if they lose in court and they get sued, it's fine. It doesn't come out of their paycheck, it comes out of yours. God bless America, right? So who do I call about none of these agencies investigating? Who do I call? Why the fuck are we paying these people? Why? That's a damn good question. Now we've heard from Anna and Tony, and we've also heard from Kinga. Obviously, I was telling the fucking truth. When my friend Danny died back there, it was Officer Gerhardt who hid the crimes of the Boulder Police Department in their negligence. Danny would still be alive today if they'd have shown up when they got the first call. Instead of me going out there fucking 4 hours later and seeing my friend dead as a fucking doornail with his fucking pants around his knees and his fucking pockets outturned. Police don't do shit. A lot of my heroes fucked up big. I'm not going to pretend they didn't. That doesn't mean that they never did anything right. That doesn't mean that every single interaction that we ever had was fucking negative. I mean, hell, most of the interactions that I had with, all right, most of the interactions I had with Lana were pretty shitty. But most of the interactions that I had with Jerry were good ones. None of these people wanted to understand. None of them tried to understand. It was do what I want, Sean. Do what I want, Sean. I'm doing it. You see that I've called the Department of Health and Human Services. I'm doing it. And what happens when I do it? I get blown off. You goddamn right I curse. I started off being fucking nice. You could tell that woman was chewing on her fucking words. Right from the very fucking start, she was chewing on her words. What was her name? She's just a patsy. We feel that we've. No, the fuck you haven't. I can't take care of myself. I literally cannot take care of myself. Abusing me because I can't take care of myself isn't going to help me to take care of myself. Assaulting me does not help me. Ignoring me does not help me. At this point, none of these people have done anything. None of them have actually done anything other than waste your tax dollars, just like the jails. Boulder County went from having a little under 1,800 homeless people to having over 4,000 people who are homeless in under a decade. Now, in that under a decade, we have somehow managed to lose 400 beds for the homeless. Sorry, they're not beds. Boho was not beds. That was you going into a church in your sleeping bag and sleeping on the floor and being fucking glad to have it. I call these people and I try being fucking nice. They don't give a shit. You're cursing, so I'm gonna hang up. Bitch, you was making excuses. You're goddamn right I'm cursing. I already know where you're going with that line of fucking bullshit. You're goddamn right I'm gonna curse. I already know where the fuck you're going with that. You're not gonna do your job if it's just somebody who's called mentally ill, because you don't have to. You just lie and it all goes away. And that's the problem with the mentally ill tag. Let's pretend for a moment that I am schizophrenic. That I am hallucinating all this. That I didn't really just call DHHS. Let's pretend that none of these hundreds of restricted numbers, let's pretend those don't actually exist. Let's pretend that I hallucinated those. Let's pretend that these things that I am showing you right here, that they actually fucking exist. Look at that. 1:31 a.m., 1:30 a.m., 1:30 a.m. Yeah, and I get treated like I'm fucking schizophrenic for saying that shit's happening. Because nobody would ever do something like that. Nobody would ever do something like that. But I tell you what, if I do the same shit back, I'm a terrible person, aren't I? I'm a horrible monster if I do it back. And there's these places that you're supposed to get a hold of if you're being abused. But what do when they don't do their fucking jobs? When they blow you off and make every fucking excuse? You don't want me to curse? Well, I don't want my friends dying because you're an asshole. So maybe stop being an asshole. I won't call you an asshole. Stop being a bitch and I won't call you a bitch. Stop getting innocent people fucking harmed and I won't call you a fucking filthy goddamn cunt rag, you filthy goddamn cunt rag. Who do you go to when it's nobody's fucking job? Sure, it's illegal for these people to treat me like this, but it's only illegal on paper. And as we all know, paper only works on fucking paper. As soon as you got humans into the mix, you have to have a system of checks and balances. If you make it more illegal for these people to kill black folks, it's not going to make any difference. Do you know why? No checks and balances. Briona's Law, I want you to look into that. That is checks and balances. If the cops have to wear their body cameras, it's a different goddamn story entirely, isn't it? Meanwhile, I see all these people getting money because the cops were antagonistic to them. They were way more antagonistic to me, weren't they? But then again, it all comes back to that slander at the very beginning. The slander that I had stalked Natalie Bollinger to Virginia. You know, nearly everything that she wrote down on that was all stuff that was her idea or her sister's idea. And because I did as they asked, well, they pretended that because I did as they asked, that I was a terrible person. But they admitted the fact that they asked me to do those things. I've been through 4 years of abuse. 4 years of everyone being a bunch of fucking bullshitters. It's not just Brandon Ratner. It's not just Miss Peaches. It's not just fucking. It's not just Katie Cahill. It's not that these people literally didn't do anything. These people sure as fuck talked a lot and fucking texted a whole shit ton. But the one thing they didn't do was come forward to the cops. Now, all these people claim that they did, or claim that they tried. Katie Cahill claimed that she was going to represent me in court. She is not a lawyer. And then Kara Johnson Miles, the one who was supposed to be an autism advocate and was supposed to help me, the whole time she was pretending she was an autism advocate who was going to help me, and she was a friend of Shelly's. What she was doing was fucking stalking my Facebook page and fucking lying about me and Natalie Bollinger pages, looking for anything that they could find to magically justify the evil shit that the fucking Bollingers did. My predators had a lot of fucking help. But you look, I gotta fucking pull teeth just to get people to be honest. And even then, any excuse not to have to tell the truth. That woman, Patsy, holy fuck. God bless America, right? Yeah, that's like you punk ass bitches fucking praying for somebody to win a fucking football game. Do you really think that if there's an almighty that it actually gives a fuck about football? Seriously. And if God was willing to fucking help you out with football, where he's not going to help out any of these children being raped in the fucking system, you're a selfish son of a bitch for asking. Dear Lord, please let the Broncos win the Super Bowl. Fuck you. For me, it was, dear Lord, please let me see my mom. Dear Lord, please transfer my roommate so he can't do that to me anymore. The Bollingers and a lot of their fucking animals, they're not real Christians. Just like Brenda Dickinson isn't a real Christian. Their Jesus exists so they can manipulate others. That's it. There's two types of Christians. There's the bad Christians, like the Bollinger family, and the Kelly family as well. And then there's the even worse ones. How can you be worse than that? You look the other way. You look away from the crimes of people who pretend that they're Christian and make excuses for them. Like it must be okay. Fuck you. It's not okay. Your Jesus didn't say that was okay. I love the Jesus. He is my favorite character of any book, anytime, anywhere, ever. Bar none, he is my favorite character. And he'd be chasing most of your bitch asses with a whip.